Is Braylon with us today?
Yes. Are we echoing because I'm here? I'll go over into the other room. Okay.
Well, you say that. I can't get
All right, y'all at the school.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But then you won't be able to hear him if we
Yeah,
don't.
it's fine. Just cut it down somehow.
Oh, can you hear us now?
Yep, I can hear you
Okay.
good.
Perfect.
All right, family. So today is just to recap, Braylon's PR. I know I spoke, Heather, with you and Braylon not too long ago. And yeah, we're just going to be, walking through kind of his competition, how everything went, and kind of how things were going beforehand, and also kind of what he's looking forward to doing moving forward. So it sound good?
Yes.
All right, awesome. So, family, I'll just introduce myself and ask you guys to introduce yourself. So, I'll start us off. So, my name is Dontavious Hill, three-time Team USA high jumper, and today I'm here with Braylon and his mom and dad, Heather and Stan. And today, once again, just going to be recapping Braylon's PR. Just came off of a PR as a freshman. So, yeah, Braylon, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Um, I'm Braylon Moss, and I jumped 6'6" as a freshman, and I'm trying to accomplish getting 7 foot before sophomore year.
All right. And Heather, your turn.
Yes, I'm mom and also coach here. So we try to work together hand in hand to help him achieve his goals and kind of balance what he's trying to do with his other sports too, and going into track season and trying to make sure he stays healthy, all the way through summer track because that's a long season. So
Awesome. And Stan, go ahead and give us an introduction.
Yeah, I'm Stan Moss here. I'm Braylon's dad, and I kind of also help a little bit with the track, but not necessarily my next sport. But I've been a head track coach myself, so try to work kind of hand in hand with him when mom's not around and stuff like that, just to try to make sure we hone in on some of that stuff. And like I said, he's got a goal he's trying to reach. So however we can try to help him get to that, I'm down with it.
Oh yeah, for sure. Thank you for sharing. All right, so let's jump right in. So Braylon, starting with you. I know I spoke with you and your mom about a couple weeks ago, regarding, how things were going for you. I guess first let's start off with the competition. So I know you just came off of that PR not too long ago. Tell us what height did you open at in that competition? How did it go? And yeah, how did it go?
So that meet I started at 5'8" or 5'6".
I think 5'8".
I think it was 5'8" I started at. I got to I think 6'4" when I started doing like a just kind of like the rhythm where you clap. I just did that so I'm able to keep my rhythm with it. And then some of the people I was going against, there was one senior who was jumping 6'6", 6'8" with me. So I was mainly just trying to beat him. So that was really fun.
Oh yeah, awesome,
He had, a,
man.
he had a clean sheet all the way through. Every single first attempt, he cleared it, which was pretty cool because 6'4" the week before was his like PR when he went 6'4". And then we used some of your tips of trying visualization and lean a little bit more, trying to not tell him too much, a little bit too much sort of going in his brain at once. So I was like, just focus on maybe just the lean, a little bit more. And so we tried to cut down some of that, but he was perfect all the way through up to 6'8" until
Oh
he
yeah.
got to 6'8".
That's awesome. And Heather, were you able to be at the competition and watch?
Yes, yes. So that's how we got my team manager got our videos for me and I was able to watch it like in person. And then it was good to be able to try to adjust some different things and for him to see, also how important it was to be clean all the way through because the senior did clear 6'6", but he was very irregular on his approach. So like he wasn't clean through, he didn't have a clean sheet. So that's what allowed Bam to PR and win in that competition.
Oh yeah, for sure. And when you saw him get the PR, I know you saw him get the 6'4" first, and of course he was jumping against a senior and he's a freshman. I guess whenever you saw him get over that 6'6", what was kind of your reaction knowing he had just got that new PR?
I was so excited for him. I was like, wow, that happened faster than we anticipated. So I didn't really anticipate that happening a few days after we talked.
Yeah, For sure. And that's just the way it happens, when he's able to apply, the things that he's learned and you guys are able to work on it, that's as quick as it can happen and it's gonna, keep working. And I guess for Stan, did you get an opportunity, to be at the competition and watch that?
No, I didn't. I actually had another game that I had to go to, which actually he showed up, excuse me, at the game after he made his jump. Um, I coach our soccer team as well, and so we had a game that day, and so I had to get back and get my team ready and on the bus and everything. So after he completed his jump, his brother brought him back, and he played in the soccer game that night too. So it's just, I mean, after seeing the video or whatnot, like I know I know he's got it in him. It's a couple little, fine tweaks that we got to make here and there, and also just with maturity and growing, being in the weight room, things of that nature, get a little more explosive power out of him. But again, that's all in due time. I mean, he's 15 years old, so like at the end of the day, like any accomplishment that he makes, that he's proud of, I'm extremely proud of. So, and it doesn't matter, as far as with me. I just like seeing my kid compete. So he's out there competing. He's competing against some of the guys, out here in North Texas, and I mean, they're jumping and they're running out here. So I mean, you got to, if you're trying to get on that level, like you can't just half step it. Like you got to get after it. So I mean, he's able to do that and compete, and like, I'm ecstatic for him.
Oh yeah. And I appreciate you sharing. Like you say, you just want to see him get out there and compete and do his best at the end of the day.
That's
And
it.
and as long as he's out there, doing his thing and having fun with it, you're gonna be happy supporting him. All right. So Braylon, for you. Of course, I know we spoke, and we talked a little bit about your technique and also the mental side of high jump. Your dad mentioned you're just 15 years old. Tell me kind of what you've done or, in that point leading up, to the PR, kind of what were you working on most? What did you feel like you needed the most work on?
So after we had talked, I was focusing more on my lean because what you had said about how the lean has to be more, like I've focused on that a lot, and I've gotten better at it even during our practices. So it was the lean, and then some of the visualization about how you're supposed to put the bar higher. I did that like I think a day before I went to A&M. So I did that. Honestly, I put it as high as I could, and I would kind of jump under the bar. Like I knew I wasn't going to get to that. So I was under the bar, just kind of like visualizing, like once I get over, how I'm going to land and like how I'm going to like kind of position myself. So it was more just like I would do like a one or two step and I just jump into the mat and just kind of visualize myself like the bar's here and I'm just going under it. Just so I can like kind of just keep it in my mind. Like that's where some of the jumpers might, but
Right. For sure. And I know you mentioned some of the lean and then a lot of the mental side, working on seeing the bar really high and even kind of running up under it. And
mhm.
and yeah, and Heather, for you, I guess what was the main thing you saw, as a change for him leading up? Or let's say like where you saw, okay, he's mentally breaking through or anything that you saw differently for him leading up to the PR.
His approach was definitely smoother. He didn't seem to be as, like his last two steps as choppy, so he was understanding like getting the speed into the curve. Because he knew we had talked about his curve was a little bit tight. We didn't make a lot of adjustments to it, but he had the confidence. I think that talk he had with you like gave him some more confidence, and he just felt like he had some tips he wasn't using. So the visualization and then kind of understanding his lean and how getting his knee up would help rotate him over the bar, how important the approach was. And he saw like the senior he went against, I mean, he has hops. Like he can clear 7 foot probably if he actually honed in on his approach. But I think he actually saw in real time how off his approach was and how inconsistent it was and how it affected, he struggled to clear 6.2, but he cleared 6.6 on his first attempt, but he saw that firsthand and how important it is to have that consistency and how that approach could really affect, your rotation and how you get over the bar.
Hmm. For sure. And like you say, his approach was probably the main place where you saw some of that improvement. And one thing that we talked about, last time is the fact that high jump is like a 90% approach event. Like majority of it is done on the ground. So, with Braylon being able to improve that aspect, even being 15 years old or being a freshman, that's going to pay off, as he continues to work on that piece. So let's go to Braylon. So Braylon, for you, I mean, of course, you're really young. You have the rest of your freshman year, you have sophomore, junior, and senior year. Tell me, what does it mean for you to, get that 6'6" PR this early?
Honestly, it just kind of sets kind of my standard in my mind, how I always have to do better. So even though I'm just a freshman getting 6'6", it kind of makes me like, okay, soon I'm gonna get 7, because that's what I'm trying to get. I'm trying to set the record at my school, and I like to be the best. So if I'm able to get that, then that's something that would help me a lot, because I know I know what I can do, and I know that I'll probably get 7 foot really soon in my mind.
Oh yeah, for sure. And Stan, what about you? Seeing him go out and get that 6'6", we know he's one of the top freshmen in the nation right now. What does that mean to you, seeing him get that PR this early?
Man, honestly, I'm just happy for my kid. Like at the end of the day, like, being dad, being proud dad, all that different stuff, like I'm proud of my kids regardless. But knowing the competition, having coached here in Texas for almost 20 years, I know the kid that he was jumping against, the senior. I was actually at his school last year, and some of the things that Bam has seen from him, I was telling that kid when I was working with him a little bit last year about his approach and things of that nature. But he's a little hard headed, but he does got bounce. And so he's been able to really and truly kind of get through some obstacles and win some meets just out of pure athleticism. Um, and so just with Bam, I mean, he's a cerebral kid about his sports. Absolutely. I mean, he's going to think it through. He's going to talk, he's going to talk the talk. But just, I could tell just by watching the video, like I knew that he was going to get it just by the look on his face. Like it's just like you know what I mean? Like I mean, when you become a parent, you kind of, your kids, and like I can tell when it's like go time and when they're kind of BSing around. So that's, what I mean, being a coach on top of being dad, like I can decipher between like when is that real time and like when he's either agitated, frustrated with himself, even if he's not saying a word. Like I just know body language and demeanor and facial expressions, and like I could tell by that look in his face when you see him approach that bar, like there was no way in the world he wasn't going to get it. You know what I mean? And we talk about visualization, in which honestly, if you're going to be a high class athlete, that's what is going to be done regardless, no matter what the sport is. I mean, you gotta dream the dream for one, whether it's football, basketball, baseball, track, soccer, whatever it is. You got to dream of you making that play or making that jump or what I'm saying, finishing that race. Like you put that into your brain, and like there's nothing really that can stop you. But just for me, honestly, I mean, yes, it was a proud moment, but I'm proud of him and all my boys at any point in what they do. But just seeing him and the excitement in his face, and getting the crowd going with him, and had everybody cheering, like it was awesome. It was phenomenal to see. And so, we found something. I mean, he's fast, but he don't really want to run that quarter like I think he could. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why he turned away. He know he can run a sub 60 quarter, like even in the eighth grade. But you got to be of mental strength for that race and for that training. And so it's just from that, like finding his niche within the soccer realm. I mean, and within the track realm. It's been pretty cool to watch him grow, and looking back at old videos of him, getting 5'6", you know what I mean? Like getting 5'4", 5'8". Uh, I think what did we finish at last year? 6 foot,
Six,
Yes.
three.
6'3" last year, coming out of the eighth grade. I mean, it was just seeing him excited and pumped up, and all of his teammates cheering him and everything like that. Like that for me, I'm good. Like, you know what I'm saying? That you put in the work to get there, and then you go and get your goal that you're trying to get. Like, brother, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? So as far as that for me, like I'm rock solid. I'm glad we've been able to get in touch with you. Like I said, I've been coaching, for a while, and I think I know one of your teammates or former teammates, Sanaya Barnes.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Her dad and myself, that's my frat brother, and her mom was the principal that I used to work for at my old school. And so I've even reached out to him as well and kind of showed him the videos. And and she comes around in the area from time to time too. And she was like, she'd be willing to kind of, coach him up and see what you know what I mean, to help him out a little bit too. So I think she's out of the country right now, but at the end of the day, like, just any little bit that we can get to get him to that next, you know what I'm saying? He wants to get 7 foot, like our record is 7 foot here. And the kid who did that actually is going to be drafted in the NFL coming up in the next few weeks in the NFL draft. Eli Stowers that played at Vanderbilt. So he's got the record. He actually had a chance to meet him this summer, and he did it as a sophomore as well. But I mean, he's trying to go get it, and he at least we want to, honestly, like, we trying to break it. To be
Yeah.
honest with you, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, it'd be cool to get 7 feet. That's a landmark. But heck, even if we got 7'1", like, we try to have our name up there. Period.
All right. Moss name. I heard
Yes,
that.
sir.
So yeah, so Braylon, I'm gonna pull something up for you right now. So right now you're the number one freshman in the nation.
Yes, sir.
Number one freshman means there's nobody better than you. All right. Did you know that? Did you know you were number one in the nation?
As soon as I got told that, I always looked at it. So, yes, sir.
Yeah, so you're number one in the nation right now. Tell me, how does that feel? Kind of knowing that and seeing that.
Honestly, it feels great. I've always tried to separate myself from a lot of people because I don't like when anyone's even close to me. Like, even the guy right below me, I don't like that because I like being better than everyone. So being first, it just means a lot. It just, in my opinion, it shows that, like, I'll I'll go out, and even if it isn't my main sport, like, I'll still try my hardest to go compete and win everything that I'm able to.
Oh yeah, for sure, man. And you have a winner's mindset, man, and that's really great to have. Now actually I wanted to pull up your jump right here. 6'6" jump. See what we got. All right. So we attacked really well here. We're running through this approach. And let's see where we kind of get over top here. Just a really good jump right here.
Hmm.
Just a really good jump, man. You really put it down right here. Now let's look at the 6'8". Let's see what happened. All right, so we got the 6'8" right here.
Hmm.
Boom. All right. So with the 6'8" jump, let's see how we attack. We still bring the heat for the most part, which is great. But what happens is, Braylon, we decide to go into the bar a little early. Like, what you did here was probably good enough to clear 6'6",
Hmm.
maybe 6'7" again. But if you want to be able to clear higher bars, you have to learn to be patient as it rises. What I mean by that is you have to wait before you decide to go into your arch or technique. You got to let yourself rise up in this position.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
So
But
maybe kind of think like you're going up for a high layup, but you have to hold it longer. Would that be a right analogy, or is that the wrong type of cues to give?
that's essentially the right kind of cue. We're just trying to basically go for that layup and hold that position,
Hmm.
kind of float. But that was 6'8", and of course we know you've already jumped 6'6". You're a freshman. You're number one in the nation, Braylon. So congratulations, man. Really proud of you and the progress you've been able to make. Even in this short period of time. So really excited to see what else you're gonna do this season. Heather and Stan, appreciate you guys. Supporting him the way that y'all do, and of course. Looking forward to hopping on more of these in the future as he continues to succeed and continues to get some bigger bars. But thank y'all.
Got a question for you before you go.
All right.
Just a coaching question. So, like,